Hello everyone, welcome to Red Dragon Model Works. My name is Gilbert. I also go by the name of Red Dragon. I've been building a little beast of a kit. I mean, she was a dog, or at least I thought she was. Got it on eBay, a few dollars, and it's this 172 Sopwith Pup. I've had to redo a few things and scratch build some stuff here and there because she was missing a lot of parts. So what I still need to do is finish the paint scheme, the decals, get that propeller and wood grain on there, shoot it with some future, and she should be done. So if you hang tight, I'll get everything together here and we'll start and paint her up. Be back in a little bit. Okay, what I'm doing is right now is I'm adding a couple of masks here that I made up with some Tamiya tape. Here, let me show you. And I'm gonna paint some stripes right there on the tail there, on both sides. This here, there'll be a decal there. Still haven't figured out this yet. I don't want to overdo it, but I'll probably do what I'm doing here. I'll probably do it here on the tail. Then again, I'll just might just leave it alone. We'll see how it looks. I'll be back in a little bit. Okay, guys, what I'm doing is just putting some lines on the back of the tail there. So let me lower this a little bit, and I'm just trying to touch up what I got there. So if you'll bear with me, try to get that in there so you guys can see what I'm doing. And we get that. Just touch that up just a hair. I mean, it's... There we go. I pulled the masks off, and they weren't as straight as I'd like them to be. And this isn't going to be any better, but I'm just trying to clean it up just a little bit. What do you think? Alright, be back in a second. Well, I'm going to leave the tail alone. It's not perfect, but it'll do. Now, I almost forgot. I need to touch those wheels up a little bit. Clean them up some. So I'm going to get the black together, water it down just a little bit, and then hit those tires. And then I'm going to shoot it with the clear. So as soon as I get that, that's how she's looking, guys. I like that tail. And I was going to add some more, but you know, once you get these guys on there, you know, the decals, that'll give it the color I'm looking for. So let me go ahead and work on these tires, and I'll be back in a second. Alright, time for some of this. I'm going to shoot a coat on it, let it sit for a little bit, maybe get another coat on it, wait about an hour, and then come back and put the decals on. In the meantime, I'll start working on the propeller, trying to put some wood grain on it. Be back in a little bit. Alright guys, what I'm doing here is I'm laying down a base coat of yellow, some model color yellow. Now, I've looked online about a year ago and tried to find someone that'll do this to show me, because I didn't know how to do it. I really didn't. I found somebody on a forum, and they explained it to you, but they didn't show it. I don't know, maybe you find somebody now. So I thought, you know, at the time it was aggravating because you couldn't find anybody that showed you how to do it. So, found a forum. The guy put down the steps of what he did, how he did it. He used a tan, but I found a yellow works really good too. So I lay down a base coat of yellow model color. I've got some burnt sienna oil sitting there. Now I'm getting all the linseed oil out of it. It's been sitting for about 2 hours. I'll probably let it sit for about another hour or so. And then I'll come in and I'll start laying that down. When that's ready, I'll show you guys how I do it. Be back in a little bit. Forgot to mention, got a coat of clear on there. So now I hear a lot of people, and myself included, this happened to me. First couple of times I tried to use it, I had to get that orange peel. I found that I lower my pressure down to about 20 and just slow coat, just quick little flickers. A light coat, let it dry, another light coat, let it dry, and just build up the coats. That's how I found that this clear worked, because before, man, I hated this stuff. I mean, it was a mess. So, I mean, I don't know if you can see, I'm trying to get the light to quit, you know, but I got a nice coat there. There's no orange peel. It's nice. It's a little glossy, but that's what I'll use this for. Some flat clear. Now I have this one, and I have a Humbrol, and I got a poly scale. I also have Vallejo. Vallejo's okay, thick. You got to water it down. This stuff, you don't have to. Same with the poly scale, you don't have to. And then I got the canned stuff. So we'll see. I'll be back in a little bit. Alright. Now I've given this time to dry. So, if you'll permit me here, let me get this ready. So, what I'm doing is, I'm laying on the burnt umber. I'm taking just a little bit and laying it on. And then I go in the direction of a wood grain. Now there's going to be some feathering, but what I'm doing here is just laying it down on all sides here. As you can see. Now see, I'm already getting the wood look. See, a little bit on the flat brush. I get it in there. Make sure to cover the whole thing. Make sure not to leave any of that yellow showing through. You see? You get it right in there. And now I start feathering. You can lay a little bit more, a little heavier in some spots if you want it darker. You know, I like I said, I tried to get someone to, when I was getting back into my hobbies, or the hobby, or life, or however you want to call it. I couldn't find anyone that would actually show me how to do this. So, a little research, trial and error, and I'm sure there's some guys out there probably saying it's not that hard. Well, if you don't know how to do it, it's hard. So, if I can show someone how to do this and save them some heartache later on. See how I'm doing that? Just feathering it in there. Okay. And there it is. Now, you start feathering that out again. Let that sit for a little bit. See that? Just little by little. And work it. And then you can figure out how you want your grain to look. Now, I'll clean my brush off. And what I use to clean that off, some mineral spirits. So I'll clean my brush off. And this brush is only for that. I don't use it for anything else. Get everything off of it. And then I get a small brush. Alright, I'll sit that down for a second. And now what I want to do is go in there and take off whatever excess that was in there. And now I'm going to start getting my wood grain. You want to figure out which way wood would flow. Okay, see that? Same on the other side. My dogs are driving my wife crazy there. So, what I'm doing now is, like I said, now you take a little bit, take the excess off on a paper towel, and just slowly work it. Now you leave some spots darker than the others. Now, let's clean that off again. I don't want that drying on there. Take the little one. I wet it, clean it off, and now I go in and I give myself a couple of little knots, and then see, you can tell. I'll go in and start just working little by little. And then I'll go in the little circles, simulate a knot, and then feather that out. It off a little bit. I'm going to take a little bit more off of that, just in certain spots, like right there. I want that darker, so I do that. Bring that around like a wood, and that way. Same thing here. And there it is. Okay, pretty simple. You just remember which way the wood flows, the grain flows, and you'll get it every time, man. And all you do now is you just make a few swirls here and there. You'll simulate that wood grain. Alright. I'll show you a little bit more here. Now, I'll take a little bit off of that, a little bit here, and there it is. See that? Now I'll go back and I'll let that sit for a little bit, and I'll go back in there in a second and clean that up. But I want a knot right there. So I'll swirl that around, and I'll just swirl it around, and then feather it out. Just like that. Just try to, whatever you do, keep cleaning your brush, keep taking off the excess, because that's basically what you're doing, is you're taking off excess. And then you want like something like where your knot is, you want that just a little bit. There it is. Alright, be back in a little bit. Alright, I'm going to try a little bit more here. We get the front end of it, we got the back end of it. Okay, now we'll do the front end of it. And the same thing, I want it dark in the corner there, and I'm just going to, see how I'm doing that? Just bring that around, and then out. Make sure you guys get a good brush to do this. Excuse me. This is a 12-0 angular. And then I have here a number 4 flat. And those are the two brushes I use. Just for this. And I'll use another one. This is perfect for what I need. That little knot, I lost it there. So let's reestablish that. There it is. Okay. Forgive me, guys. I don't talk when I'm doing this. In concentration here. But I just want to show you guys how to do this. Or those of us that they're on, because I know there's somebody out there that doesn't know how to do it, and hopefully I can show them. I mean, if this technique helps you, man, let me know. By all means, please let me know. There it is. I think. I'll be back in a little bit. Now, what I'm doing now is I'm wetting this in the spirits and just cleaning up what I don't want there. It'll take it right off. Just be careful not to hit the work you've done. And then you'll have to go all over again. And there she is, guys. See it? There it is. There's the wood grain. That's the front. I can't do it on the back here, guys, but and there's the rear. See it? And that, gentlemen, is how you make wood grain. Simple as that. Now I'm going to take this, put it on my little blob of blue tack, and just let it sit there for a day or so. Let it dry. But that's it. That was it. Simple as that. So, let me start putting these stickers on and I'll be right back. Or I'm sorry, the decals, and I'll be right back. Alright, gentlemen, she's done. There's the propeller. What do you think of my little girl? Now, a propeller's still wet. It's going to take a couple of days for that to dry. So I'm going to set it off to the side. But in the meantime, I'll drop some microsol on the stickers. Get those all down. I'll have pictures of them up a little later on International Scale Modular. But there she is. What do you think, fellas? You know, for something that I never planned on painting, I think she came out okay. What do you think? Pretty proud of that propeller. Let me see if I can get it. I'm on. Focus in. There you go. Well, that's it, guys. That's another build down. Going back to work on my Tardirium shuttle. Until then, this is the Red Dragon Model Works, bidding you adieu. Ciao, guys.